Bahashem Rekah Kedash, Yahweh ben the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai in the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. We're going to start with Yahweh Shai's word. And Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5, starting at verse 17. It says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." So Yahweh shall say he didn't come to destroy the law, he came to fulfill the law. And what does that mean? See, what is he talking about? Fulfill the law. Let's go to Luke. Luke 24. Luke 24 and 44. It says, "And he said unto them, These are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me." See, this is what he's talking about. He's talking about the prophecies that was written in the law of Moses. It was prophecies in the law of Moses. When you go into Deuteronomy 18, it talked about a prophet coming pretty much to save the nation, the Messiah. When you're talking about in the prophets, we know that the prophets was bringing prophecy about the destruction of Babylon, about the captivity of Israel, and of the Psalm, King David. He prophesied about Yahweh Shai being tortured, saying, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" Now, when you go into, let's get Acts chapter 3, because Peter addressed what the prophecies was going to do. Acts chapter 3. Or Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 3, starting at verse 18, it say, "But those things which God before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, that a Mashiach should suffer, he have so fulfilled." See, he fulfilled what he was going to suffer. He didn't fulfill something you can't eat. You can eat a pig now, and you can eat a crab and a lobster now, that he done sacrificed his life. See, he didn't sacrifice his life so you can eat abominable foods and dress like a prostitute walking around the streets. See, he didn't do away with no law. Now let's go back to Matthew 5 and see how he break this thing down. Matthew 5, I'm going to start at verse 18. He say, "Verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled." So there's no such thing as this an Old Testament, it's done away with and all this mess. Verse 19, it says, "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. It says, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So it's about who teaching these prophecies. Who gonna teach this law? Now you go into Apocrypha. Ecclesiastes 39. Ecclesiastes 39, starting at the first verse. He say, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy. See, in order for you to know what's going on, you got to be occupied in the prophecy, knowing what prophecies have not been fulfilled. See, then you will know what time period you're dealing with. Now let's go into one of these major prophecies. Second Thessalonians in chapter 2. This is a major prophecy that Apostle Paul was given. In Second Thessalonians, the second chapter, verse 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the son of perdition has to be revealed. See, he has to be exposed and identified in the last days, before that day comes. Before all the prophecies is fulfilled, that prophecy got to be fulfilled. It says, we're going to jump down in verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity do already work. So he already is at work. It says, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way, and then shall that wicked be revealed. Now it said that wicked. Let's get who is that wicked. See, who is the wicked in the prophets? Who is the wicked in the Psalms? Who is the wicked in the law? Book of Malachi, the prophet Malachi, he says, let me read the heading up here. It says, Malachi, a prophet in the days of Nehemiah, directs his message of judgment to a people plagued with corrupt priests, wicked practices, and a false sense of security in the privileged relationship with God. He's talking about the Israelites. So during the time of Nehemiah was during the time of the Persian Empire. Now, Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, it shows you who is this wicked. It says, whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So now you got this nation of Edom is the border of wickedness. These are the people that's referred to as the wicked. Now let's see the importance of this nation. Let's go to Job 9 and 24. It says, and Job was a prophet. Job 9:24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So who is these wicked people that control the earth? The Edomites. See, they come from the nation of Edom. The earth was given to them. Why was the earth given to them? Because that was prophecy. That was a prophecy that was in the law. See, in order to reveal the man of sin, you got to know the prophecies that was in the law. Because Yahweh shall say, I come in the volume of the book, and the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Yahweh shall. So he came to fulfill, and he's remaining here with his men to give those prophecies. Now, Genesis 27, starting at verse 28, it says, and Esau said unto his father, this is the forefather of the Edomites, forefather of the nation of Edom. It says, and Esau said unto his father, has you but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Now that fatness of the earth, when you read the Jewish Bible, it says the richness of the earth. See, they will be the rich people on the earth, ruling the earth. But look at verse 40, it's saying, by your sword shall you live. So by his military, by his biological weapons, by his physical weapons, he's going to be ruling. He's going to be living. It says, and shall serve your brother, and it shall come to pass where you shall have the dominion. Now, what dominion is this? This is talking about a rulership. That's why that word dominion can go to, when you go to Genesis chapter 2, it talks, chapter 1, it talks about the man having dominion over the animal, meaning having rulership over the animals. And so, dominion stands for rulership. He was going to have the rulership. Now, what kind of rulership was he going to have? When you go into the blessing of Jacob. Jacob's blessing was in verse 29. It shows you what this rulership was going to mean, because he said, back in verse 40, he said that you shall break his yoke from off your neck. So Jacob wasn't going to have his blessing at this time. Esau was going to have his blessing. But when you look at Jacob's blessing, you get an understanding. He said the same thing. He said the same thing to Jacob in verse 28. He said, therefore God give you the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. That's what he told Esau. Then in 29, he said, let people serve you. This is the blessing Esau was going to have. People was going to serve him. It says, and nations bow down to you. See, that's why the nation, they bow down to the so-called white man. because he is the ruler of the earth. See, it says, be Lord over your brethren and let your mother's son bow down to you. So this is a similar blessing that Esau was going to get. They both was getting the same blessing. So this is the prophecy that's being revealed in these last days, because he has to be revealed before all prophecies are fulfilled. Okay, when you go into Hebrews, Apostle Paul brought it up again, and he wasn't talking in code like he was in Thessalonians. You see, he talking to the Hebrews here. See, in Thessalonians, he was writing to the Israelites that was in Thessalonica, however you said. He was writing to them so he could talk more openly. But when he was writing to the ones that was in the Edomite nation of Thessalonica, because the Romans had took over all those lands. They was being controlled by the Macedonians or the Edomites. Now, Hebrews 11 and verse 20, it says, by faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. So he blessed them and gave them both a prophecy and a promise of rulership. Jacob and Esau was going to have a rulership where the nations was going to bow down to them and they was going to rule over the nation. But in verse 40, it lets you know that the yoke of Jacob wouldn't be on Esau when Esau is ruling. And so that's going to take you back to Genesis 5. Because that's the prime time prophecy. That's one of the main prophecies that's got to be fulfilled. Genesis 25 and 23. It says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from your bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, the elder was going to have to serve the younger, but Esau was getting his blessing first. When you go into Numbers chapter 24, it talked about Amalek, the grandson of Esau. Because it's not just talking about Esau having some blessing, because he never ruled anything but his household. It's talking about his families, his bloodline. Now, Numbers 24 and 20, it says, and when he looked upon Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations. So Amalek was going to be the first to rule out of Jacob and Esau. See, he was going to have his long rulership, because when King David and King Solomon, they was ruling, but they ruled for a short, I'm talking about a blink of an eye, just to establish the nation of Israel. But when they fell, you see Esau came with a massive rulership during the Greeks and the Romans. Now when you go into the Apocrypha, it lets you know about this rulership. 2nd Ezra 6. I'm gonna start at 6 and 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? Or when shall be the end of the first? So you're going to have a first. It says, and the beginning of it that followeth. So somebody was going to rule first. Verse 8, it said, when he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born unto him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the world was going to be ruled and occupied by the nation of Edom. And this is why it says Esau is the end of the world. Now that's one of the major prophecies that has to be fulfilled. Now in the midst of that prophecy, you got a battle going on. They warn against each other. Let me get that. Exodus chapter 17. See, Exodus, during this time, you had the Israelites been coming out of Egypt from the Hamites ruling over them with a hard bondage. And so once they got out of that rulership, you had somebody waiting on them. Who was waiting on them? By this so-called Red Sea. Okay. Let me get this. Exodus 17:1. It say, and all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of sin, their journey according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched tent and reef for them, and there was no water for the people to drink. So they pitched the tent and they posted up. Now it says, okay, let me get to the point. It says in verse 8, this still in Exodus 17, it says, then came Amalek, see, and fought with Israel and reefed for them. It says, and Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. So as soon as they pitched the tent, coming away from them Egyptians, they said, here come Amalek, ready to fight. Now, once they defeated the Amalekites, they, Yahweh told Moses to build an altar. In verse 15, he built the altar, but verse 16, he says, for he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So it was going to be a war going on between the Israelites, Jacob's children, and the Edomites, Esau's children. Now, while the prophecy of the Israelites being in captivity under the Edomites, while that was going on, we had Apostle Paul addressing the situation. And he telling the Israelites pretty much how to conduct themselves and what they need to be doing. So in Ephesians chapter 6, starting at verse 11, he says, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. See, who is these wiles of the devil? Who is this? He say, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. See, this is not a man-to-man situation. It's bigger than one individual. It's bigger than two individuals. This is the whole kingdom we battling against. It says, but against principalities, against powers. See, this is a whole kingdom of Edomites. We're not battling one Edomite standing on the corner. We're not battling 3 Edomites riding around in the truck. See, it's bigger than a couple of Edomites. It says, against principalities and against powers and against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Because these Edomites, they doing all kind of witchcraft. That's why when you go into Isaiah 47, it talks about Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, and the Chaldeans. Because the Chaldeans was an elite group of pretty much witches and warlocks. Now, verse 16 will identify who he talking about. He says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. See, he bringing up the nation of Edom. See, because this is he talking to the Ephesians who was in the captivity under the Edomites, and he's writing them a letter. So he's not finna come out and say anything about Esau in the book of Ephesians. He gonna bring out the wicked, what their name was called in the prophets. The prophet Malachi, King David called them the wicked. Job called them the wicked. So this is how being occupied in the prophecy and in the prophets, you can understand what needs to be fulfilled. Now, when you talking about the Edomites, in Revelations 12, he start identifying the Edomites. See, because he identified them in chapter 6 of Revelation, because he talked about this red horse. And then the whole chapter 6, he talking about the Edomites and this war between Amalek and Israel. But he named them the red horse because Edom means red in the Hebrew. And he named them the black horse and the pale horse because they got leprosy. That's why they came out red. That was a form of leprosy, a clean leprosy. So chapter 7, and chapter 8, you got chapter 9, 10, 11, they was getting on other subjects. But then in chapter 12, he gets in back on these Edomites and tell you it's a war that's going on. See, and this is the prophecies that's going to be fulfilled in this war between Jacob and Esau. Now he's going to address both of these nations in the first few verses. Chapter 12, he said, verse 1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, and a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So these 12 stars represent the 12 tribes of Israel. It says, verse 2, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. So that's going 2 ways. Yahushua was being born from the nation of Israel as the king and the governor for the Israelites, but also the nation of Israel was in pain because they wanted to be delivered from these Edomites. See, they was crying in pain because they wanted to be delivered. Now verse 3 is saying, there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. So these Edomites, they had, just like the Israelites, they had multiple kingdoms and areas. For instance, you got the 10 horns. Those 10 horns goes back to the territories that the Romans was occupying during the Roman Empire. And this is who the Edomites were calling themselves, Romans. See, calling themselves Greeks and Romans, but they was all Edomites. It says, verse 5, it says, and she brought forth a man-child. Now that's going into Yahushua, who was to rule all nations with the rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God to his throne. So that's when once the Romans killed him, he went to the throne of the Lord. It says, and the woman fled into the wilderness. So it's going to start elaborating on this war that's going on between the Edomites and the Israelites, and the Israelites is desiring to be delivered. So to get to the point, it says in verse, let's see here, verse 12 is going to get to a certain point in the war, because like Paul said, it's a spiritual war for the Israelites. They not going fighting flesh and blood. They going to fight the nation of Edom spiritually, see, with the word of God, with their faith. See, that's how they going to fight. They're not going to fight physically with this nation of Edom that's ruling the earth in wickedness. It says in verse 12, this is when it gets to a point that these Edomites done got to their limit in the war. It says, therefore rejoice, this is verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he have but a short time. And then he talks about what these devils is going to do. It says in verse, let me get straight to the point. In verse 17, it says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to wage war with the remnant of her seed. See, the woman was the 12 tribes, and this dragon, who is the Edomites, they're going to wage war with the remnant of the 12 tribes. It says, the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahushua. And that testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Let me get that. Because his testimony is about fulfilling all of these prophecies he came to fulfill. And his testimony is about fulfilling the prophecy. Revelation 19 and 10, I'm going to just read the last sentence of 10. It says, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. See, his testimony is all about fulfilling the prophecy. See, and that the major prophecy is the war between the Edomites and the Israelites. Now, in the next chapter, verse chapter 13. Now, mind you, Apostle John, he was not writing chapter 13. Okay, chapter 12, chapter 11. He was writing his writings in just one volume. And so he started to describe the Edomites in a different way. Look at verse 1. he says, it's 13:1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. See, describing them as a beast now. He's not saying a red dragon. He's saying a beast. But it's the same thing because they got the 7 heads and the 10 horns. So, just to hit the key point, in the midst of this war, look at verse 7. He says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. See, who was the saints? The saints are the Israelites. And to overcome them. And power was given him over all the kindreds. That's talking about the tribes of Israel, the tongues and the nation. Them in other nations in exile. And then in verse 10, he's going to elaborate how they got in these other nations. Verse 10, he said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Because the Edomites led the Israelites into captivity. This beast, this red dragon, led the Israelites into captivity. So they're going to have to go into captivity. It says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. See? Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is the faith of the Israelites, that they was going to come out of bondage. That's why verse 2 of chapter 12, it talked about them being delivered. They was in pain. They was crying out in pain like a woman who was pregnant to be delivered from the captivity of the Edomites, that red dragon. Okay? Then when you get down to, let's see here, verse 14, it says, and deceive them that dwell upon the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So these this new beast, talking about Babylon the Great, see, because he's trying to give a different description and to show the importance of Babylon the Great. So he said they had power to do miracles in the sight of the beast, in the sight of their other Edomite nation. Now, when you get to verse 15, it say, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. So now, this is the part of him waging war on the Israelites. He's going to have some kind of situation that pops off where they're going to have to obey pretty much the Edomites, or they was going to be killed. And so that's when you get into Revelation 16. It said, he called all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And he talking about all that dwell upon the earth. See? And then he says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So now he's going to shut it down and cause this war and this captivity to go to a whole nother level. So now he's going to put them into a harder bondage where he dictating their every move again, like he did on the plantation when he had them in chains living in the outhouse. Now, when you get to Revelation, let's see here. When you get to Revelation 16, it talks about what Joel was talking about, that the Lord will have a war with these individuals. Now, Revelation 16 and 13. It says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come up out of the mouth of the dragon. Meaning these Edomites is going to be running their mouth, operating against the Israelites. It says, out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Verse 14, it says, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles. See, these miracles is going to be a major situation. They're going to have these miracles coming out, and they're going to be giving these Israelites, putting them under pressure to do something. And we already know what they're going to have them trying to do. They're going to mandate this seat here. Mandate that seal. That goes back to Revelation 6. Revelation 6, it talks about these red dragons. Verse 4, it says, it's identifying the Edomites with verse 4. Revelation 6, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. See, that's what Genesis 27 talked about. Not a great sword, but just a sword. Esau was going to live by his sword. And it says in verse 5 of Revelation 6, now it's describing these Edomites as a black horse, because it's given another. That's what John did in Revelation 13. First he called him a red dragon, then he called him a beast. See, a scarlet colored beast. He just worded it different. Now in verse 5, he said, when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Now that pair of balances, going to the Greek, is talking about a form of slavery. He had the power to put somebody in slavery. Verse 6, he said, I heard a voice in the midst of the four say. So in the midst of the 4 beasts, he heard a voice come out and say, after putting all these beasts together. See, in the midst of the black beast, or the black horse, he said, I heard a voice in the midst of all of them. See, it says a measure of wheat for a penny. So now he's bringing up food and he's bringing up money. He's bringing up food and he's bringing up money. This black horse. This is the situation that these Edomites is gonna push it to. When they get in their great wrath, they gonna start dealing with the food and the money. See, they gonna start. That's how they gonna wage their war. See, they gonna have a whole nother war, because they not just gonna kill you. That's what the book of Job was all about. That these devils ain't gonna be able to just touch your life. They not gonna be able to have the right to kill you. See, but they gonna have power in other ways. That's why Job was getting all these boils and stuff, because they was pushing pestilence. See, he was getting this Satan, this adversary, was pushing the pestilence on him. That's what they doing now with their depopulation. Talking about we need to find out certain ways that we can depopulate the population. We got to go with something. And they had the professor that was pushing it. He had diseases. Wow. He had diseases on the radar. This is one of the main ways we can decrease the population. And we got the option to choose one of them. That's what he said. Now, verse 8, this Revelation 6 and 8, it goes into the pale horse. After he talks about this slavery, pair of balances, he talks about the slavery, and he talks about the food and the money. Just to keep it plain and simple, he goes into the pale horse. Now, the pale horse is going to show what this man is all about. He says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. See, now that death goes into Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, where they was called, the Edomites was called Death. It says he was as death. Now, look at what verse 8 of Revelation 6, it says, and power was given, well, no, it says, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them. So it's not just talking about one man on a horse. See, it's bigger than just a man on a pale horse. It's talking about a group of people, a nation. It says, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. And that's talking about Babylon the Great, America. It says, to kill with the sword and with hunger. See, that's why he said, if you don't worship the beast, we gonna put you to death. And to kill with hunger is we got power over this food. See, we got power. If you gonna buy or sell, we got the power over that. We got the power to come in your house and confiscate your food. It says, and with death and with the beasts of the earth. Let me get that. Them confiscating the food. Now I'm gonna go back to 2nd Ezra 6 and loop those prophecies, because these are the prophecies we are waiting on and we seeing is coming to pass gradually. Revelation 6, starting at verse 20, saying, when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. So this is talking about the end of the world of Esau. Still in chapter 6, where it says Esau is the end of the world. So these Edomites, in the end of the world, verse 22, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. So when they get that sound, oh, the food is running out. We don't got no food in the grocery store. Or however the storehouses is not producing or bringing the food, then you go into 2nd Ezra 16. This is when that great wrath is going to come. This is when the great wrath is going to come, and they're going to realize that they got a short period of time because they don't got no food. Now, 2nd Ezra 6 and 68, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. See, a great multitude of these Edomites, they gonna have burning wrath. They gonna know that their time is up. The food has ran out. We having a food problem, food shortage. That's what Yahweh said in Matthew 24. And so he says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idol. So that's when they're going to give this money situation priority. That's why that Revelation, the black horse, Revelation 6, talking about the wheat and the penny. See, that money is connected to that food. But it says, get right to the point, verse 7, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their house. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. See, they're going to go and take the goods out of these people's house. See, they're going to understand we got a short period of time. The food running out. Just like when Jonah was on that boat. Jonah was on the boat, all hell was breaking loose. The people on the boat say, man, what's going on? Something popping off. Because Jonah had done made God angry because he ain't going to warn these people. So they understood God was coming after Jonah. They threw Jonah off the boat. Jonah, you got to get off this boat, man. What you done brought God wrath on us too? See? That's how they gonna be. The Edomites gonna be feeling. We running out of food, and this must be because these Israelites. We got these Israelites in bondage. We either gotta exterminate them or do something to them. Let me get that. Matthew 24, because Yahushua, he said this was gonna happen during that great tribulation. When that burning wrath of a great multitude of these Edomites come against the Israelites. Matthew 24 and 21, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the flesh of the elect's sake, that's why the days was going to be shortened. And the elect of who? The remnant of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's like Revelation 12 and 17. It says that the dragon was going to have a war, start to wage war with the remnant of her seed. Talking about the remnant or the elect of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. That's who the war was going to be targeted and focused on. And if he didn't come and crack that sky, they would eliminate the elect. They would eliminate the Israelites. See, and that prophecy of that climax of this war between Jacob and Esau, the Edomites and the Israelites, that climax have to come. Now, Isaiah 13 also talks about that climax when the Edomites finally start to rush in on these Israelites that they got in slavery captivity under their military. Isaiah 13 and let's see here. Let me start at 5. 13. Is it 5? Oh, 15. Salaki. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. See, every Israelite who's found by these Edomites, the so-called white man, they gonna thrust them through. They gonna kill them. See, they always knew a race war was gonna happen They didn't understand the prophecy, but they knew it was going to be a race war. It says, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled. See, that's them going in and getting that food. See, we're going to get this food from these Israelites. Only way they survive is they're going to have to do what we say. And their wives ravaged. See, the women of the nation of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, these women, they going to get attacked because they don't have no military. Let's see here. That's during the climax of this war between the Edomites and the Israelites. Now, let's see. Oh, Daniel. Now, Daniel, he was told the same prophecy. It's going to be a war between your people, Daniel. Your people going to be being attacked. They're going to be being attacked in a way that they never was attacked before. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of your people, Daniel. See, Daniel was from the tribe of Judah. He was a Judite. He was from the southern kingdom of Israel, who went into captivity under the Babylonians. And the angel was telling Daniel, it's going to be something coming after your people, man. He says, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. Since y'all was a nation, since y'all came out the womb with y'all brother Esau, it's going to be a major situation. Since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time, your people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be written in the book. See, the elect of the nation of Israel is written in the book. He didn't say every Israelite was going to be delivered. See, only the elect, the ones like in Revelation 12 and 17, the ones that was keeping the commandments and having the testimony of Yahweh, looking at the prophets, being occupied in the prophecy. See, understanding the prophecy and how they, in what order they was gonna come. And it's plain upon table. Let's go to Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse. I'm gonna start at verse 2. Habakkuk, if I can find it. Yeah, that's Micah, yep. Chapter 2. And this is talking about revealing these Edomites too. This is talking about the final prophecies being fulfilled with these Edomites being revealed. Because they was hidden. They was hiding themselves. Habakkuk 2. I'm going to start at verse 1 and say, I will stand upon my watch and set... Let me start over. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. See, it's a plain situation. It's a war between the Edomites and the Israelites, and these Israelites is going to be attacked in the end of the war. And this is a spiritual war, but at the end of this spiritual war, they're going to be attacked, because that's why when you go into Ephesians 6 and 12, it talks about It's not a war of flesh and blood, but it's a war against these governments who operating in wickedness. See, the wickedness of the Edomites is going to finally become to get physical. It's going to be a flesh and blood war. Then it says, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, and that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So it's a specific time that these Edomites is going to roll on the Israelites. And that time is when the food run out and they start to control who going to get the food and buy the food. See, they going to start tampering with the money. They going to mandate the seal. See, it says, verse 4, now I was talking about who need to be revealed. See, it ain't gonna name them, but in the third chapter it do name them. In the third verse it say Teman, talking about the Edomites. But here it says in verse 4 of chapter 2, it say, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Now, why is it talking about his soul? Why it didn't say they soul? See, why didn't it just talk in general about a wicked people in general? It's been personal. It's talking about their nation in a personal way. It says, where is it? His soul is not lifted, his soul is not Philokia. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Verse 5, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. So he's going to be ruling all nations. He's going to be ruling all people, pushing out his influence on them, his wicked agenda. That's why it says in Ephesians, wickedness in high places. See, they're going to be the rulers, they're going to be the principalities, and they're going to be ruling in high places, pushing off their wickedness. See, this is what the so-called white man is going to be doing as a nation. Now it says, where is it? Let me get 3 and 16 while I'm in the book of Habakkuk. It was a climax that was going to happen between the just and this proud man. And the just and the righteous was always the Israelites. Now, Habakkuk chapter 3, the third verse, let it be known that it's talking about the Edomites. This is who the proud man is. But when you get to verse 16, it gives you a climax. Now, verse 16, it say, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bone, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. See, it was going to be a day of trouble. That's what the angel was telling Daniel. The nation was going to be in trouble. What is that? Jacob's trouble. It says, when he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. See, that goes both ways. Because Yahushua is going to invade these Edomites with his troops. That's Revelation 12 and 7. But these Edomites is going to invade with their troops. See, they're going to come and finally invade. They're going to finally come after the Israelites. And it's going to be a major war. Let me get that in Ezekiel 25. It's going to be a war going on. Ezekiel 25 and 14 is saying, I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, says the Lord God. So once that war pops off, which is going to begin in Jacob's trouble before the missiles fly, you're going to have a lot going on, and these prophecies got to be fulfilled. So let's get Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30, starting at verse 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. See, there's no other day that's going to be like this day of trouble for Jacob. It says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. The elect is going to be saved out of it. Now, how is this he going to be saved out of it? Let's get into that. Jeremiah 50, because it talks about this Babylon, this daughter of Babylon, which is America, and it talks about how the Israelites is going to be saved out of it. Just like Ezekiel 25 and 14 say, he's going to use the Israelites to defeat these Edomites. Now let's get Jeremiah 51 and 20. It says, you are my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So these Edomites is going to be destroyed by the Israelites. This is some of the prophecies that got to be fulfilled. See, the Edomites is not going to just be done away with like they talking about in the Jehovah wickedness in a lot of these Christian churches, that the Edomites is just going to be done away with during the Roman situation when they attacked the Israelites. That's when the Edomites was done away with, and they mixed in with the Israelites. So that's the game that they running. But the prophecy of the Edomites is that they're going to be destroyed by the Israelites. Let's go back to Daniel, because Daniel said a war was going to pop off, and it was going to be a major situation. Daniel 2 and 44. It says, in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall be not left. Let me say it over. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So that kingdom is not going to be destroyed. And that goes back to Isaiah 45 and 17. Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation, a world without end. See, they're not going to be destroyed. They're going to go into trouble during the war between Jacob and Esau, but they're going to be saved out of that war because God is going to use them to defeat the Edomites. He's going to use them to be his battle axe and weapons of war. See? And he's going to set up a kingdom of the Israelites that's never going to be destroyed. Let's get it out of Daniel 7 and 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So the Israelites is going to take the kingdom. They're not going to just be slaves, see, under the Edomites' rulership until Yahweh shall come and start blessing all the nations and blessing everybody equally. See, that's not going to go down. See, the prophecies of the Israelites fighting against these Edomites and starting their kingdom, their everlasting kingdom, that has to come to pass. These prophecies got to come to pass before anything else happens. Now when you go into, let's see here, Luke chapter 21, because Luke, he broke it down a little different, but he made it plain upon table. Luke 21, he gave a timeline, and he made it plain. Okay, 21, let's start at 24. It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations. So that's what Apostle John was talking about in Revelation, that he that leadeth in the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. This is what happened to the saints, and the saints were going to do it to the Edomites. Verse 25, it says, well, no, let me finish 24. It says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. Not only will they be trodden down of the Gentiles, the people, but the land. See, the land and the land of Israel and Jerusalem will be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So the time of the Gentiles got to be fulfilled. See, their time to rule, the Edomites' time to rule had to be fulfilled before he came back. And during their time, they're going to be revealed. It's going to be revealed that it's not just Gentiles. See, it's the Edomites' rulership. Their time is going to be up. But it says in verse 25, it will be signs that time will be coming. So these Edomites, they looking in the sky, the sun, moon, and the stars, they seeing all these signs. So they know their time is up. Verse 26, it says, men's hearts failing them for fear. What men? What men heart is going to be failing them for fear from looking up in the things in the sky? That's another prophecy that has to be fulfilled. That's a key prophecy. See, that prophecy lets you know that the Edomites ain't went nowhere because they got to be here when Yahweh shall come. Jeremiah 49 and 22. It says, behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle. See, Yahweh shall is going to come and crack the sky. He's going to fly as an eagle. It says, and spread his wings over Bosra. So he's going to spread his wing over Babylon the Great America. It says, And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pain. See, those are the men that heart is going to fail them out of fear. Because they're going to see the Savior of the nation of Israel. They're going to see the King of kings, and especially of the nation of Israel, crack the sky. See, that's why they got this agency where they finna put all kind of satellites, hundreds of satellites in the sky, because they looking out for two prophecies. The prophecies of the nuclear missiles that's gonna be coming from Russia. They want to detect these missiles that's prophesied to come, Revelation 17 and 16, from their allies, the 10 horns, and they want to detect when those angels in those chariots is coming, which they already seeing them all over the place. The military went on 2020, this major interview program that talks about what's going on in the world, and the military done said we've been seeing these unidentified objects, these signs in the air every year, well, for years, every day on the battleship radar. So they already seeing these ships every day on their radar, and they starting to, that fear is growing. Every day is growing. So it says, 22. All right. It says, and the nation of Edom, it says, and the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pain. Now when you jump down to verse 31, it tells you who is this nation of Edom. It says, arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation. See, this is a wealthy nation. This is who Yahushua got to come and spread his wings like an eagle, see, over this place, America, because this is the wealthy nation that dwell without care, says the Lord, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. So now we know this is a prophecy that got to be fulfilled. Yahushua got to come to America first and spread his wings. See, he got to come and pretty much scare the heck out of these Edomites, show them that he's finna come destroy this place. But see, he gonna, he gonna deliver the Israelites first. Let me get that. Revelation 12. Let's see here. 12. Revelation 11.
Wait.
Now this prophecy got to be fulfilled also. It says, Revelation 11 and 12. And they, you know what, let me get Revelation 11, because it goes back into what he was saying in Jeremiah 49 and 20 and Luke 21. Luke 21 and 26. It says, verse 11 of Revelation chapter 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. So not only is the signs in heavens scaring these Edomites, the prophets that stand on their feet every week, week in and week out, prophesying against Babylon the Great America and against the nation of Edom, which was a command by the Lord in Ezekiel 35. Prophesy against Mount Seir, against the Edomites. Now Revelation 11 and 12 says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. See, that's how they're going to be delivered. They're going to be delivered because they're going to be in trouble, in Jacob's trouble, and through Jacob's trouble, they're going to be in a tight situation where these Edomites are going to try to destroy them, and then they're going to be delivered. See, because it says this great fear is going to come upon them. The great fear is going to come when they see the Israelites. The great fear is going to come when they run out of food. See, they're going to run out of food and see they got a short period of time. They're going to try to lock everything down and force the Israelites to worship them. Then, before they exterminated all of the Israelites, the Lord is going to crack that sky. See? So these prophecies got to be fulfilled, man. And they already at the brink of doing it. See, they're trying to bring the prophecy about the famine of the word. But they meeting up January the 18th to see how they can stop the flow of information. See, they can stop any controversial information that's going against their agenda. See, they trying to cause inflation by giving money all over the place where they know that this dollar gonna inflate. So now they're gonna have to transfer from the dollar to go to something else. So they can control the wheat and the penny. See, that's their main operation. They're going to enslave. That black horse is about enslaving the Israelites by controlling the wheat and the penny. And if they don't go along with it, then they coming with death. They coming with the sword. These prophecies got to be fulfilled. See, in this spiritual war between Jacob and Esau, they gonna transfer this spiritual war into a physical war, and the Edomites is gonna attack first. Once the Edomites attack, then Yahushua is coming on the cloud. See, and he's gonna deliver the elect, and then after that, the elect is gonna go on attack. See, now they gonna come and turn into the weapons of war of the Lord, the battle axes of the Lord, and they're gonna bring vengeance on Edom. Now let me get another verse to go along with that Jeremiah 49 and Luke 21. That's Luke 21:26. You got Isaiah 45, Isaiah 34, Salaki. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse to judgment. See, this is Yahushua talking. This sword is going to come upon these Edomites. Isaiah 63. He says, who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel. So he's going to be coming to these Edomites. See, it ain't he coming from Edom. He's coming to Edom. Who is, and see, however they worded the situation, you got Yahushua and you got talking about these Edomites. He's going to spread his wings over these Edomites and attack their behind. See, that's what it's all about. Let's go ahead and get that in Revelation 19 and 19. This prophecy got to be fulfilled. See, and this is right at that day. Revelation 19 and 19, it say, It said, I saw the beast, talking about the Edomites, and the kings of the earth, and all the other heathen nations, and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. See, they gonna be ready to fight. That's what you had Ronald Reagan saying, if something cracked the sky, we gotta all be ready to join together and fight against it. See, they coming up with all these alien movies about these lizards that's flying around and metal ships that they can shoot down and discover in the desert. See, because they know that Yahweh Shah is coming and they're going to team up and try to fight against it. Especially the nation of Edom know about it. But they've been eavesdropping on the prophets since 1969. That's why they sent out the guy, Al Bartlett. They sent him out to make all these seminars and crap about depopulation and overpopulation. It's an overpopulation problem. Yeah, because the Israelites is starting to wake up. So now we got to come up with some kind of agenda, some what they call it, they talk about climate change and they making all these climate machines that can tamper with the climate so they can make it look like there's some kind of climate problem. But we trying to deal with the climate problem and the overpopulation problem, and we gonna add them together. And we only got a climate problem because we got an overpopulation problem. So now we got to kill off some people, and we got to go through the medicine, and we got to go through the disease operation, biological weapon. This is what these Edomites is doing. See, these prophecies is coming to pass, and how it says in Habakkuk, the vision is for a appointed time. It shall speak. See, the vision is starting to speak, but this vision, it got to finish the conversation. It got to finish the testimony. And the testimony is the spirit of prophecy. All the prophecies got to speak. All the prophecies got to be spoken into existence, meaning they got to be seen. Every prophecy got to be seen. And we looking like we is in one of the major years of those prophecies being seen. Because we seeing every last prophecy, but just a few prophecies that got to pop off. See, the climax of that war between Jacob and Esau. That's the major prophecy that we looking for. And it's getting to that point because in the news, you got Amalek going at it with the Israelites. See, and that prophecy is starting to come to pass. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, descendants of slaves, scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.